Good morning, good morning to everybody. So today is MMPH002, block number 2. This is human resource development. Today I have to discuss about the HRD employees, HRD for the employees, and your role of HR managers, competency mapping, and the analysis of performance of the career planning. So now, so let's start the HRD employees. Yeah. So where you have to see the HRD conceptual development, then the meaning and the definition of the HRD, and HRD for the managers, and their function of your HRD department of the employees, and conclusion of varieties. And unit number 5, it will be a role of the HR managers. What are the roles? It should be there. Emerging the issues. What are the emerging issues for the HRD professionals? And your different consultant appointment, how the appointment consultant will, the contribution of the organizations in the HRD perspectives, and the conclusions. Then HRD, as any organizations, their first and foremost duty is to how to sustain. So sustainability is one of the point. That is sustainability competitive advantage should be there. Human capitals is one of the most important assets of the organizations. So I have to be very much careful about the employees, and their motivation is also equal to important aspect. Then we are talking about the human resource systems. In the human resource systems, the process and the policies, aims and the planning. The planning is one of the biggest requirement, because and the coordinations, and talent acquisitions is also a part, because the talent acquisitions and how to retain the peoples, there is another aspect. Then various levels of the managers, employees, and here actually I'm talking about what are the HRD and their associate allied systems, allied part of the HRD systems. So it is all these things are basically, you can say, it is a pulse of the organizations. So the pulse of the organizations where it needs to be developed and retained for the organization's sustainable growth and the development purposes. Now talking about the definition, there are so many different definitions are there. Different authors in the time to time, chronologically, they have described a lot of definitions. So here now I'm going to 1964. Their Hudson and the Myers, they have said that HRD is the process of increasing the knowledge and the skills of the and the capabilities of the peoples. So this is one of the concepts at time the definition was there. Then subsequently after that, the author Nadler's, he has described the HRD is a series of organized activities, some organized activities that has to be conducted within the specific time and the design to produce behavioral changes. Now, then after that, 1981, Johns, he said the HRD is a systematic expansion of the people's work. Now you see slowly the basic concept was remain, but what are the add-on, the features are different depending on the situations. The both organizations and the personal goals, the attainment is necessary. So this is the definition as formulated. Then 1983, another definition has come, that is a HRD is a study of how individuals and the group in organizations changes through the learning. Through this learning process, how it has changes. Then 1986, another definition has come, comprehensive learning systems for the release. The other addition was there. That is a comprehensive learning systems is a part of the HRD, where the classroom, then meditations, stimulated part. So a lot of features are automatically it is added. So experiences, learning experiences and the experimental on the job experiences is the key of the organizational for the survival purposes. Now 1988, Arthur Smith, he has defined that HRD consists of the programs and the activities, direct and the indirect, instructional and the individual that positively affected of the development and the individuals. Then 1989, again, the Nedlar says the HRD is the organized learning experience provided for the employees. And other authors has also said advancement of the knowledge. HRD basically is the advancement of the knowledge, skills, and the competencies, and the improved behavior of the people within the organizations, both their personal and the professional use. Now, see the 1990, Smith, he has optimization. He has given he has emphasized on the optimization methods, where optimally the people can learn the systematic improvement. He is talking about the systematic improvement of the performance and the productivity of the employees through the training, education, and the development. And obviously the leadership for the mutual attainment of the organization and personal goals. Now 1991, the Carahans, he says the strategic management of the training and development should be a part of the HRD. That's why he says the strategic management of the training, development, and of the management professional education intervenes so as to achieve the objectives of the organizations. Then slowly, then 1999, you see why actually here I'm trying to highlight it, how HRD definition is modified, time to time it has modified, in a different span of time, it has changes. The purpose of the HRD is to enhance the learning human potentials and the high performance in the work-related environment. Now, 2001, the McLean he says the HRD is any process of, or activity that either the initially or over the long term has the potential to develop adult-based knowledge, expertise and productivity and the satisfactions. So there are some of the benefits of the organizations, that's the community, nation, and the whole of the humanity purposes. Now 2004, here actually the definitions, the Einstein and the Kessels, this is the HRD is an organizational process. It is comprises the skillful planning, comprises the skillful planning and the facilitations of a variety of formal and informal learning and the knowledge process. So primarily, but not exclusively in the workplace. So adaptability, competence, then your adaptability, collaborations, and the knowledge creating activity of all who work for the organizations. So HRD can be defined as a set of systematic and planned activities designed by organizations to provide its members with the opportunities to learn the necessary skills to meet the current and the future job demands. Now, 2005, again the definition says, author York, he says that both of the organizational role and the field of professional practices means the organizational role and the field of the professionals practices are combining the things. The fundamental purpose of the HRD is to contribute both long-term strategies, performance, and the intermediate performance improvement through the ensuring that the organizational members have access to resources for the development of their capacity. So this is the way the definition has been evolved. Now you have to discuss about the HRD for the managers. So HRD these are viewed basically, there are some subsystems in a large system. And it is a HRD, one way you can say it is a proactive approach and is maintained and is the main role in the development of the enabling the capabilities. As the any organizations, they have some objectives and some set goals are there. So finally, what are the employees has to develop in such a way so that their capability or the desired goal, they should reach the desired goal as well as some development are already manifested or already decided, the capability enhancement that at par or not, that has to be. So that's why some proactive approach is required so that what you say actually we would try to desired levels. So HRD is a concern with the process values like trust, openness, explorations, managing conflict, and which reducing the human wastage. So HRD entails the development of and the capabilities, commitment, culture, etc. So capability development entails the expanding of the person's knowledge and skill set. So human resource development is concerned with the enhancing the workplace performance. These are all are the characteristics of the HRD for the managers we are talking about. Now the component, the HRD, when it is in regards to the component of the HRD, is focused with the performance, whereas when they considered as a part of adult educations, the emphasis is on learning, because the learning is one of the major component for to develop the HRD. Now see the functions. The functional department of the HRD are aim the HRD activities of the organization is oriented towards the socializing the new employees into the internet. As we know, when the new employees are joining the company, some orientation programs, some induction programs are there, so that they can familiar with the company's rule and regulations, code of conduct, and exactly what are the tasks behind it. He's supposed to do it. So all these things, the awareness, and at the same time, who is his boss, who is the subordinate, what are the workers, workmen, management, managers. So some sort of socializing the things as a personal levels, behavioral levels, what are the expectations on the company side as per the objectives. So expectations from the company side, the organization, and expectations from the own, everything is a part of your socializing. So at the as a micro level, HRD refers to the enhancement of the staff quality in order to increase the productivity. The goal should be to help the people to learn the new skills and to help them perform better than their current jobs and accept future challenges. Zvatia, 2005, he has written that our objectives or motto should be there. As a manager, you have to see your people how to develop your new skills and help them to perform better. The efficient use of the organization's human resource is frequently the most important aspect of the in its success. So generally effective the organizations achieves is the objectives through the maximization of the potential, maximizing the potential of its people resources. What are the resources you have? That potentials that has to be maximized so that you can get a good productivity and everybody has a skill enough. So department, what are the functions of the HRD department? The HRD departments in enterprises must execute a few functions in order to attain these aims at the micro level. In the primary functions, the training and development, there's a T&D. Another primary functions area is your organizational development. Then the career development, CD. So HRD department, in order to properly accomplish these three basic functions, include the role analysis, employee orientations, performance appraisals, potential appraisals, counseling, then succession planning, participative devices, and the QWL, and definitely the human resource information systems, and the research work, R&D or research. So all are the function departments which to look after so that the total HRD can be achieved. So now here some of the flow diagrams given. Training and development, there's the HRD, then the training and development, career development, and your then your organizational development. So now the role analysis of the development and the secondary function, primary function is there are three: T&D, career development, and organizational OD. In short, is organizational development. Now the secondary functions of all three main functions. There are role analysis, performance appraisals, potentials, performance, employee orientation, succession planning, participative devices, and the quality circles, and your human resource information systems, and the research. These all are the secondary functions. That is the model of the HRD functions, basically. Now you see the HRD for the employees. So training and development, as I said, the leadership of the executive development, management, and the supervisory development, this is MSD. In short, organizational development, then your career development, and what the flowchart I have seen, all these things are in the previous slides. You see that all these functions. Now it is in the written form, basically. Then we have to go for the inductions. What are the role of a HR managers? And what are the issues the HRD managers? HRD managers plays a significant role in the organizations because the HRD plays a dynamic role in coping with the changes. What are the changes that has to be coped up and emerging issues facing the HRD professionals? So the external business environment defined in terms of the political, social, economic, and technological, legal environment, also the internal business process systems and work culture causes the various challenges to the HR and the organization as a whole. So all these things are some internal and the external issues are there, which has to be seen. Now the challenges, what are the challenges? The challenges are basically, these include encouraging the diversity in the workplace, basically the conclusiveness to work together, togetherness in a cohesive manner, that is encouraging the diversity, basically. Competing in a global economy, competing the global economy, this is another issue, challenges. Reducing the competency mismatch, what are the mismatches there in the competency, that has to be reduced. Addressing the requirement for the persistence in independent learning, then you're promoting the organizational learning, managing the workforce generations. These all are the your challenges. Now, role of the HRD professionals in the organizations. The HRD plays a crucial role in the organizing and the supporting the concern. Creation of the learning environment is important. That creates a mature knowledge in the context. So knowledge is the most important source of the competitive advantage. Then organizing the HRD for the workers. That is considering taking as all opportunities to demonstrate that investing the human capital increases the value of the company by the increasing the leadership capacity. And it should be shared the responsibility, ongoing operational development, and the renewal is also one of the part to ability the quick change, ability to change the as much as possible or quickly. Then practitioners, HRD practitioners in the organization has three main sub-functions. The role of then your learning specialist. There are some of the activities of the training, then education and training, then your educational activities. All are the specialized area for the HRD. Then manager, what are the tasks and consequences? What are the tasks are surroundings or encompasses? That is conducting an audit and the assessment of the learning development requirement. Audit, time to time audit is required, as well as the servicing a training plan. The training plan should be there. Number two is the managing the organization's learning systems and this LMS portal, a lot of different systems are there. Through this way, we can manage the systems. And what is the role of a administrator? So here in this case, the HRD practitioners or the managers in the organizations must play the following roles as administrators. So what are the roles? Long-term and short-term planning, with the growing relevance of the HRD and its strategic role has been further enhanced. So, short-term or long-term training, what are the training program should be there so that you can match with the relevance should be relevant and reality should be there based on the market, or we can say the further enhancement purposes. So some tangible, both maintaining the tangible and the intangible assets for the management of the organization systems. Then the planning of the HRD department, another is the budget, and the keeping the short-term and the long-term plans are very important functions of the department. So we have to judicially have to see the budget also, so that can be best economy conditions to see from the organization point of view. Managing then acquisitions and development and the retention of the employees in the organization, as well as the staffing of the HRD department. This is another functions, another area for professionals. Then establish the mutually beneficial internal and external relationships. This is one of the main issues, the relationships between the internal and the external. Publicity, then your PR, I think the public relations, building and the employer brand and the organizations is also, branding is also one of the important issues. Then as a consultant, the HRD manager is the first and foremost the line manager of staff related operations unit of the department that should be strengthened. Secondly, the HRD manager has act as a consultant to the company's chief executive CEO officer and assisting them, assisting line management in the resolving the personnel and the productivity and the organizational issues. So act as a consultant. Competency mapping is important because you have to see the competence of a particular your employees and accordingly have to develop. So there are two things you have to examine. There one of the emotional intelligence and the emotional quotients, or we can say there's anything emotional intelligence, EI or EQ, both the things, to strengthen the individuals in areas like the team structure, then your leadership and decision making, etc. The value of competency mapping and identifying the emotional strength is that many employees now purposefully screen the employees to have the people with the specific competencies. So it is required because initially during the recruitment time, if you see the competency mapping, you can analyze it. Then you can save the more of time, training, and the money also, so that you can always have to see the base of the employee are already some competencies are there. So maybe very short duration time of training programs you can give them, and they can equip very early, so very easily. So Mansfield, that is 2004, he has presented a broader view of the competency with some words. He says, the competent people are those who followed the rule and procedures without questions. And they are so much aware and already skilled enough so that they need not to further any training is required. They are competent themselves. So competency means the compliance that stressed over the need for personnel to take more responsibility and activity. They are already ready. I mean, they are accepting the responsibility. They are ready for the accepting the responsibility and adaptability also. See also and acknowledge three different images of the competence. One is used to describe what people need to be able to do. with the employment, used to describe what currently happens, and used to describe what people are like. The three things are the basic things for the competence. Classifications. There are so many, lot of classifications given. That is, threshold competencies, differentiating competencies are defined in different conditions. So they are essential competencies. Threshold competencies are basically essential competencies required, basically required for the your generic knowledge. Then motive, self-image, social role, or the skill which is essential to perform a job. Differentiating competencies are these are the competencies that distinguish the superior performer from the average performer. Then your further classify the competencies are further classified technical and or the functional business awareness, organizational awareness, technical skill, and external awareness. Then managerial skills are again the part of your classification, that is customer oriented, planning skills, then your cross-functional possibilities, concern for excellence, judgment, leadership, delegating the authority, and the risk takings. Then human attributes. Human attributes are basically the communications, then teamwork, or the interpersonal effectiveness, integrity, transparency, or and the focus while they are interacting with the people. These all are your human attributes. Then Arya Chanakya, as a well-known royal counselor and the prime minister from Vedic India, wrote that the uh, Arthashastra, which is said to be first work for the competencies and your mapping. So in India, there's the Academy HRD in the Ahmedabad, the TV Rao Learning Systems, SHL India, were the pioneers in the designing, implementing, and the conducting the assessment centers of Indian organizations. So thus developing the competency mapping method models. So with this, with the development of the assessment 30 तक
मैं आपको बताता हूँ.
So, okay, I think now again I have to slide number 20. I have already covered up some of the things. So now let's start from competency. We are talking about the competency mapping. The classification of the competencies. So now you have to see the threshold competencies. This is basically the essential competencies is required for the generic knowledge and the motive, the self-image, social role, and the skill, which is essential to perform the job. This part we can say it is a threshold competencies. Now differentiating the competencies. Differentiate competencies means so these are the competencies that distinguish a superior performer from the average performer. So that is the difference. The superior performer and the average performer, what are the difference? That is part we can say it is a differentiating competencies. Now here I have to classify some of the technical or I can say the functional competencies. That is one of the business awareness, organizational awareness, technical skills, and external awareness. Then your managerial skills. In the managerial skills, where we have to see the planning skills, judgment, leadership, risk taking, how much risks you can take it. There is a risk management part of this. So this is also a part of your competencies. So during the situation, in any situations, you have to have a that type of leaderships. You can take some risks, calculated risks, so that considering all the aspect, you have to see it. Human attributes, as we say, that is a communication skill you should have. That is interpersonal effectiveness, integrity, and transparency. These all are the human attributes. Now, need. Why it is need? Need for the competency mapping. Because you see, the human resource management is the process, basically the process of the managing the employees and the organization simultaneously in order to attain the shared goals, or we can say the setted goals by the management. So, so that's why identifying the mapping and the mapping the competencies is becoming increasingly significant. So we have to identify individually how much efficient he has. So that's why that mechanism for competency is required. Then you can further improve through the training programs. So a well-run business should have the clearly outlined positions and a list of competencies to effectively fulfill each functions. As we know, the SWOT analysis, the SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and the threat. that analysis is very much required. Better we can understand where we are and how much competency is further required to achieve in order to achieve the professional goals. So competency mapping, other way you can say this enables the finding of the subjective knowledge and the skills, behavior, and the capacities necessary for the current and future workforce selection in accordance with the institutional priorities aligned with the changes. The analysis can assist in the developing workforce development programs, and it is very close to existing gap between the competencies required for the job. And another way you can say the competencies is determined the institutions to assess the appropriate training program. What are the gaps between the actual and the projected outcomes? It can help to enhance by the key performance areas. So here actually I'm talking about the significance, because that's why it is significant, because you have to identify the gaps. And at the same time, you have to take action for the enhancement. So mapping employees or the organizational skill gap analysis with the relevant learning objects is critical for the developing of a proper learning paths. As a result, the appropriate capabilities of the workers or the organizations, you can say. Assist is the development of competencies throughout the career planning phase. Because if you see, we have any organizations having your career planning systems. So there, that competencies are helping to throughout the planning phases, because any modification or any amendment is required time to time. So based on the feedback, or you can say based on the output of the competencies result, we can implement accordingly. So competency mapping is a function of HRD. So you can say in this case, the competency mapping basically is a function of the HRD, or we can say organization development purposes. These are aids in the staff selection purposes, growth, performance evaluation purposes, even in the university teaching professions also. Suppose some of the teachers or professors we have, how much the capacity or capability that has to be mapped out, and accordingly the development can be done. So government institutions, organizations are always working in improved institutional standards, educational quality, and the instructor effectiveness. There also this type of mapping mechanisms are adopted, and it is working there. So the established competency mapping scale will be highly valuable tool in employee self-development initiatives. Now there are so many models are there. You have to model, or we can say the framework. Basically the models and the framework are almost the same meanings. So framework are basically the complete collection of the competency clusters and the competencies and the behavioral indicators, and then it integrates all the behavioral indicators that apply to various positions at all levels in the organizations. So framework or model should be such a way, it should be integrated, and all the behavioral indicators that has to be placed and in all levels in the organizations. The degree of proficiency in each skill of the individual is measured against a performance benchmark specified by the relevant institution. Different institutions have a different measuring systems, how to how to scaling this proficiency, degree of proficiencies. Different organizations also have a different way they are measuring the things. So in the competency modeling, if you see the modeling, there are some 5 levels are there. There are 5 levels of the proficiency that is defined. The first thing is the beginning. The employee response is reactive by nature because as we've seen, that's the reactive by the nature. So that is the beginning part. Second is elementary. Within his own zone of the influence and the control and an employee responds satisfactorily and is aware of his requirement. That is the elementary part. First of all, he should understand what is the requirement, self-satisfactory functions. Once the employee has to decide, he has to self-control, okay, I have to do these things. Then intermediate. The employee makes effort to exceed beyond the required expectations. Has a broader perspective. So the response to all the situations, analysis, and the performance required as standard. That's why the standard is coming up. Then advanced. Employee proactively respond to all the situations and generally performs consistently above the requirement of the standards. So this is called the enhancement, you can say. Expert, exceptional foresight creates. The expert can always foresee what is coming and how to do it, and accordingly can motivate the things. So learning environment is very much needed, and it is so that we can reach the desired level of the performance. Then your skill. Now coming to the skill. Skill basically a person's ability to perform something well is referred to as their skill. So for example, you can say the excelling at Microsoft Word. So you are excel, you can doing very good. So that is your skill basically. Knowledge is the informations that a person applies in a certain field. Suppose for example, a restaurant where you can see the international clients are coming and the distinguished and the exceptional waiter and the waitress who speaks many languages from his or her medical counterparts. So that is his basically his knowledge level. Self-image, because a person's perceptions, these are our own identity, personality, and the value. That is a self-image coming up. Leaders, as a leader or as a person development. Then your motive, what motivations, what motives some of the actions. These all are the achievement. Professional, that is you can say the knowledge ability, knowledge-based capabilities, KU, which shows the degree of professional skills and the managerial domains. So they are also identified by their functional capabilities. Here actually I am talking about what are the pillars. The holistic model consists. In a holistic model consists all these things, parameters should be there. Social maturity, is in short SQ. It is comprised as an individual's personality. Social maturity is a difficult concept of the grasp and synchronized with the social responsible, ethical, humane, and the personal moral. Application skill. This is also a practical, we can say the practical skills. Tell us whether the manager knows that what to do and how to do the business. there are so many approaches are there. So first step is profiling of the organization. First, you have to see the profile of the organization. That's the profiling of the organization. Second step is your job profilings. Second step, role or job profilings. Through this job analysis details, you can fix the tasks. Third step is your identifications, performance indicators. This is done by the 2 or 3 stages. Fourth step is the superior perspective of the performance. Fifth is compilations, because it's complex natures. Sixth is your defining the competency. And seventh is your finalization and the validation of the model. So this is all our things. In the next sessions, we will see the assessment part also. So, okay. Thank you very much.